Hey friends, how are y'all today? Mama Sue's tired, but you know what? I'm glad it's a good tired because I have been able to put things up for us to have this winter. Today, Harold picked more tomatoes. He picked 5 more gallons of tomatoes. I picked 5-gallon bucket of peas and shelled them. And then a friend from church brought us some corn. We don't plant corn. And last year, Jake Wallace brought me the best corn I've ever had. And he told me this year, he said, our corn is doing good. So this morning he brought me a big old bucket of it. And what I do, I shuck it, get all the silks off, and then I put my ears in some a big pan of water so it won't dry out while I'm shucking the rest. And when I get it all done, then I go and cut it off. And I have showed y'all years ago how I do that. But what I do is I have my real sharp knife and I hold it and I come up from the bottom and take off the very top of each of the kernels. And come back and do that again. And then I turn my knife over and I scrape down to get all the starch out. And after I did that, what I do that is so much easier than the way my poor mama used to do it. We didn't have microwaves back then. And she would always, after we cut the corn off, she would put it in a real thick pan on the stove eye. And it would be my job to stand there and stir it from the bottom, because if you didn't, it would stick. Well, somehow after the microwaves came about, someone told me, you can put this in a microwavable bowl and put it in the microwave for 6 minutes and then stir it, and then for 4 to 5 more minutes, and it's the same thing as cooking it on your stove. And it has been cooling most of the afternoon. And it's cool enough. Now I could put these in freezer bags. The Ziploc freezer quart bags. But I can't find the plastic freezer containers like we had when Mother was alive. I did find some on Amazon and it was like 4 for $12, and I thought, oh no. Well, these are freezer containers that I've showed y'all, and this is just the right amount for us. It's the right amount. So you're gonna see this is 1 cup, and that's 2 cups. That is plenty. And then I'm just gonna put the top on it. And that's done. And that's how I freeze my corn. Then when I get ready to cook it, what I do is I'll set this out of the freezer in the morning on the counter. And then I put it in a microwavable bowl. I'll cook it for 6 more minutes, and then it's really hot, and I'll put butter and salt and pepper and cook it again, and it's usually thick enough. But if it's not, if you want it thicker, put your little cornstarch and in some water, and it'll thicken it up so good. But, you know, the hardest part about putting corn up is shucking, silking it, and cutting it off. after that, since you don't have to put it on your stove to cook it, it is no problem at all. You just have to let it cool, and then this stacks. See how that stacks? It'll stack in a freezer so good. Now, I'll show you later how I do my peas. Y'all saw me canning them. Well, that takes a long time to can them, but I've told you you're either going to spend time at the beginning or at the end. But the peas that I did pick this morning and shell them, I washed them. I put them in my pan, covered them with water, and blanched them. I brought them to a boil and let them boil for about 6 minutes probably. And if the foam comes up on it, you scoop that off. And then you let them cool. And I'll put the peas in the container just like this. But I'll show you how I do that on another day. But this corn is so good. The kernels were yellow and white mixed. I guess it's called multicolored. You know, they have yellow corn, they have white corn. Well, this was mixed. And I told Jake when he brought it, I said, Jake, you can raise the corn. And he said, it's Granny's land. She had a garden spot. Miss Kate did. She had the prettiest garden all the time. But I wanted you to see this, and I wanted you to know that it, you know, some people put it just corn on the cob. I have done that before, but Harold and I don't eat corn on the cob like we do this. And Amy loves this, and Chris too. I don't have corn as often because I usually, what I get from Jake, or if I can find some to buy, I will. But Harold really this morning, he talked to me when we got up, and he said, Sue, first of all, he said, in 1991, your mama was the age that you are now. What was she doing then? And I thought, and I said, well, my mama was sick then. Mother was sick for a long time. He said, do you think she was doing everything you're trying to do? I said, probably not. But I said, I can't let my stuff go to waste. I said, I'm just going to go out and I'm just going to pick these two. He said, okay. So he was out there pulling tomatoes. And then Kara called and she said, Jake's going to bring you some corn. So I went in there. Harold was studying for Sunday school. And I said, Harold, I don't want you to get mad. He said, what have you done? I said, Jake's bringing me some corn. He just shook his head. But we're proud of it. But I just wanted to show you, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got a little bit more in here, but I'm going to put a little bit more in 3 of these. I had 11. That's 11 meals. If I only had corn once a month, that's almost a year. So, just wanted you to come along with me and see what's happening at home with Mama Sue. Thank you for joining me. Remember to be salt and light, and I'll be back soon.